Deranged Airsoft here, and today we're doing our review of the PPQ by VFC that we got. You may have seen it at the end of one of our other videos. We kind of showed it and said we were going to get some action with it first and then do a quick review. So we were able to get out last night and use it at the field. Had a good time with it, and today we're going to do kind of our review and a quick disassembly for those, because I didn't see any actual information out there on how to like disassemble the gun. So there's a little bit of that in this video also. So first off, this is what you get when you purchase your VFC PPQ. I'm a big fan of like the Walther P99, especially the look and feel. This is a very similar platform designed after the P99 later on, but you know, it's a pretty nice gun. Costs you $100 to get the gun. At Airsoft GI, there's other places too that sell it, all pretty much around the same price range, $100, maybe $110 or so. So you have your gun. What comes in the case also, Airsoft GI tested this. It says with .20 gram BBs at 283 FPS, so maybe a little bit low. We were using .25s last night. That's what I always use in my guns, and it was shooting fine, nice and straight. Airsoft gun registration, and also like a do not return to the store if you have any problems card come in the box. Overall, I mean, nice box, but it's a box, right? So here it is, the Walther VFC PPQ. Nice gun, a really nice gun. I'm really happy with this. And the price range, $100 for a gas blowback that actually kicks pretty hard, isn't a bad deal in my opinion. There are some pros and cons. We'll kind of go through those. First off here, we'll go with the pros. We'll go with the cons first. We'll just get those out of the way. So a few things right off the bat that are just some cons that I'm not too excited about. Externally, this gun is great. The only thing is like this slide. It is a metal slide, but it feels like plastic. We handed it to a couple of friends, and they were like, "Oh yeah, plastic slide," but it isn't a plastic slide. It's actually a metal slide. So it may just be the way that they coat it. The coating kind of feels like it's, you know, maybe a little cheap or something, but it makes it kind of feel plasticky. But it really isn't. It isn't plastic. It has a nice, you know, action to the slide. Goes back pretty nice. There is a little bit right here. I don't know if I can show it too much, but there's a lip like right here where the two don't quite meet. In between here and here. And it just kind of catches your finger sometimes, your glove, like when you're using the gun. So just that's kind of something that I might see if I could do something about that with just a small file, and just file that down just a little bit where it's catching. Here's one of the cons. Is this is it is an ambidextrous slide release, so but this piece is just kind of held in there by a retaining clip on the other side, so it does kind of wobble around, but it doesn't really affect the performance. It's just, you know, a little bit loose there. So if you're real picky with your guns, you know, this may kind of drive you crazy. But other than that, aesthetically, I mean, it's great. And it has like a little ID number on the back there that you can see. So its own special number. It has a bunch of stuff written on it, like you would see in some of the trades in German. Even on the back here of the grip, you can see the back strap there. Focus in here. The texturizing is pretty nice too. Like it actually, you can get a pretty good grip like with your gloves and stuff. But I'm starting into the pros. So let's keep on with the cons here, right? So this is my other really big con that I have with this, is the loading. Now if you've used like KWA mags and stuff like that, you'll know when you pull this down, this follower, it locks at the bottom. This does not. So when you load this, and maybe there is a way to lock it. If there is, and you own a PPQ, please let me know. Put it in the comments so I know what to do. But as far as I can tell, there wasn't a way to lock it. You have to hold this down the entire time you are feeding the BBs in. And that's another thing too, is these feed lips are really tight. I don't have the pistol attachment for my, you know, speed loader, and the speed loader wouldn't put enough direct pressure on the BB to get it through these lips. So I had to hand load each one while holding this follower down, all 22 BBs, and you actually like had to push it through. Like it was really difficult to get it through that feed lip there. But it does hold 22 BBs. So that was like a big con for me, is because if you're running, like, let's say you have 2 of these mags or 3 of these mags, you have to sit there, hold down each one, and hand load each BB, for me right now at least, until I get an adapter for the pistol. Maybe that'll fix it. I don't really know. But the mag held all the gas. It was able to get off all 22 shots with gas left over. It wasn't like failing near the end or trailing near the end. We'll see how that keeps up though. I mean, this is brand new. It's been shot, let's see, how many mags did we go through? 5 mags last night with the pistol. We ran a lot of pistol last night just to put it through its paces. You can see a little bit of wear from the inside, nothing big. But that's just a big con for me. It's just the having to hold that down and to really hand load those right now. But it fits and locks into the gun pretty nice. You know, no problem. The thumb, you know, the magazine release here is pretty stiff. Actually, it's pretty hard to get to, so if you're trying to release it, you know, straight on, you really got to push that in nice and hard. It's almost sometimes easier to turn the gun and kind of angle it to get that to release. So whichever, like if you like to, you know, but another con. So let's get this out. So this is how you take it down. So let's say you want to adjust the hop up. All right. So you're used to your KWA gun. You lock it back and you use your little tool, and you can't do that with this. There's no way to adjust hop up with the slide attached to the lower frame. So how do you do it? Pull down on this, and here is your hop up right there, that wheel. If you turn the wheel this direction, hop up, it increases hop up. Turn the wheel this to that direction, to the left, my left, then it's going to increase, it's going to decrease the hop up. Hop was actually pretty easy to set. First few shots I took with 0 hop, then took the slide off, just a couple little turns of the dial, and I was shooting flat all night. So it was really, really nice and easy. And once it's done, then you just put it right back onto the gun, and it's ready to go. This isn't a dual stage trigger, so, you know, one time, as soon as you cock it, I mean, it's going to fire every time. It's all inside, all internal. But that's the only really big cons for me. Oh, and I'll show you when we get to it. But this slide here, let's see if we can get the camera angle just right, and something to point with here. That's going to contrast. Right here, this slide is really thin right there between the ejection port here and this upper slide is very, very thin metal. There's actually reports that I found on like Arnie's Airsoft of people that are having cracking that occur right here along this spot because of contact with this as the slide racks, because that metal is very, very thin. You can see how thin it is. Let's see right there if that's a better image of how thin this really is. And it's just really, really thin there. And I can already see, like I said, so 5 mags, roughly over 100 rounds, and you can already see a lot of wear right here and right here from that contacting between the two. They already are producing slides for these stock slides to replace the ones that have been cracked. So if that tells you anything about how much this is probably going to crack, my chances of it cracking are probably pretty good. But we'll keep using it until it goes, right? So that's pretty much it for my cons. I'll show you the inside and some other things in just a minute. But pros now. Very, very comfortable. It's very, very well balanced. It's not really long up front, and you know it's got really nice contour for my hand. Now my hand, I've been using the USPC, the compact USP, and I like more of like a flatter grip here. So this one has just a little bit of contour, which fits my fingers, my hands nicely. Back strap is fine for me. I'm not a big fan of Glock frames, lower frames. They don't make my hand fit right in them, even with the changing the back straps on them. So this gun, if you like more of that flat, like the the P226s, they all have the same type of flatter front. That feels good in my hand. The Sig, and this one feels really nice in my hand. The P99s, the USPCs, the USP, all the ones that have more of like a flattened frame really feel real nice in my hand. So if you're like me and you like that feel, you are gonna like this one. The polymer is it feels nice. It feels pretty strong. We'll see how well it holds up. The mags, like I said, are pretty nice. They shot all the gas, and still had some to spare. The action on this is actually pretty nice, and especially on the trigger. This does have a functional trigger, so right now if you just push on this edge here, you cannot fire the weapon. You actually have to use that, and then it allows you to pull the trigger. And it's got a really nice click to it. So firing this is really nice. You can really rattle off some pretty fast shots with it. It has a built-in rail on it. You know, really nice. The one thing I don't like too is like I like my guns to kind of like have some difference between the two, the upper and the lower. And this one doesn't. The black, everything just like blends. And so when you see the gun, you don't really know what it is because it's just like this black gun that you have. So what am I going to do? I'm probably going to paint like this Walther white. PPQ will probably be in red. I know it's not on the real steel gun, but for me, and I may even change the color of this upper slide here. But it's overall, I'm very happy with this gun. For $100, great deal, great price. Would I buy it again? Probably. Really nice gun, and very happy with it. All right, so let me show you how to take apart. You're trying to get this tip off here, and how to get out the inner barrel. I'll show you how to do that. So we just remove the top slide here. Take out your return spring. This is plastic. This whole thing is plastic. So just so you know that. Alright, so will this break? Maybe. Another thing too is like this nozzle really sinks in to the barrel. Like it gets stuck in there. Not stuck, but it makes a really nice seal. So just so you know. Also here you can see a lot of, we already have like a lot of wear from just 100 mags on the underside of this barrel. You can also see that up here where we're getting some contact. Let's take a look inside there. You can see inside also we're getting a lot of wear. Can you see that? Is that angle just right? Right there. So what am I going to do about that? Some people said that they kind of shaved down this top part here. That they just sanded it down ever so slightly around all these straight edges and then rounded off this corner a little bit. And it seems to have kind of mitigated that error in that process. Is VFC worried about it? I don't think so, because all they're doing is just replacing and producing more of these stock slides. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so to get this out, your inner barrel, it took me a little while to figure out, because if you try to pull it out, you can see those two pieces of metal there will not let each other glide past. And then I saw these screws. But if you undo these screws, that's just to keep this hop-up area secure. It has absolutely nothing to do with how it comes out. The way you have to pull it out is you have to kind of slide it over to the right a little bit. And it's very difficult to get to the first few times. So it drove me nuts for a little while. But once you angle it just enough, you can get the two pieces to slide right there. In between each other. And you want to do it kind of quick because it actually kind of like, it just pushes it out just a little bit. A little bit of a design flaw, I'd say there. And then your inner barrel comes out. And here you can see that this is the nub that pushes down on the hop-up rubber. You turn this wheel and it will, so the hop-up is all the way off right now. And then if I turn the wheel, I'm slowly sinking that piece down and increasing hop. Like I said, really nice hop. Once I set it, it was fine. And there's your inner barrel, or your outer barrel. So your inner barrel and outer barrel out. If you want to take this apart, let me get my screwdriver here. Let me get to the hop up inside. Like I said, I'm only doing this because I could not find any other videos or instructions anywhere on how to do this. So I figured I would be the guinea pig. So there we go. Here's your hop up rubber. This is your hop up nub, basically, that's going to push down. And then here's the wheel. And inside the wheel, let me see if we can zoom in here. Here's the track that this metal piece sits in. And as you turn the wheel, it's going to pull down on that piece. I'm not going to move it too much, but that's how the inner hop up works. Let me turn it around so you can get it from that angle. Alright, so there's the little track, and then it sits in there. So a little bit different from some of the others, but it has to be, right? It's a different company. So how are we going to take this off? Boiling water. I'm just going to stick this tip in some boiling water and get it off of there that way. And then use like a wrench and just wrench it off. So how do you put it back together? Just the reverse. I'll do that real fast for you. hope this video helps. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to post them on our Deranged Airsoft page on Facebook or here on YouTube. And we're pretty quick about answering questions. And also, if you have any videos that you want done of like gear and stuff that you've seen that we have, or like a specific type of thing, maybe about like our what we use for vests and stuff, because I've changed up mine. I haven't done a review on it yet. Psycho has now changed his also. Okay, and this is another thing with it being 2 pieces. These screws don't want to go back sometimes because you got to get them, the threads lined up just right on both. So what I just did is, if you can't get it to line up, loosen up the other one that you just put in, and then just kind of tighten down both at the same time, and it'll go back together better. Putting it back in, just doing the same thing, spacing those 2 out, and then it clicks right in, and now it's locked in there. Make sure it hops all the way off. Back in. Also, like, there's a little channel here. This little channel here holds onto this side. So if you're trying to figure out which side goes in there, there's actually like a little channel it sits into. Once it sits in there, it is locked in place. And back onto the gun. Okay. And back together. Alright. Like I said, awesome gun. For $100, you can't beat it. Really great gun. Really like it. It shot really great the other night. Had really good accuracy. Really lightweight. Nicely balanced. The trades and things are nice. So like us on Facebook. Also like this video. If you have any questions, please post them up, and we'll see you guys later.